that it was another man in the taxi, and different people that jump in the taxi that they have to get out different places. And he didn't pay any money. I thought it was strange. And Kay said to me, "Do you know who that man is that you're sitting next to?" I said, "I have no idea. Who is he?" He kind of whispered to me. We were outside kind of looking around, walking. He said, "Well, he's Hitler's right man. Hitler's who was killing everybody." He said, they had me marked. I said, "When they came to our house knocking on our door and wanted to know where I was. And I was hanging out at my grandfather's home." He said, "He's a powerful man." I said, "He didn't pay any money." I said, "Well, that's just the way they are. They don't care about other people. They're ruthless." He said, "You just don't say anything because you could be killed just like that. They carry knives and guns, everything." He said. Boy, I was scared. I really was scared. He never said one word to me. I had no idea who he was. Because I told you when I brought the apple that I picked up and brought to the teacher, she looked and sneered at me and threw the apple away. I was 2 years old. But when she threw that apple away, that hurt me so deep. And all the other little girls, she'd hug them and kiss them and tell them how nice they were and how cute they were, and their parents, and send gifts to them, to the teachers. A lot of time parents will do that. They'll send gifts to the teacher and invite them home for a dinner or something like that, so they get on a good side, so her kids will be teachers' pets. So that's what I say. Don't sell those little kids short, because they are sharp. They look you straight in the eye, and they're thinking. They were so smart, those little kids. And I was ragged. My dad, I told you, was dying. My mother was in the hospital. I had nobody to take care of me. And they took me to school, and that one teacher in the school, she was so mean. She said, "Get that kid out of here. Throw her out. I mean, throw her out." And then Charlotte told my dad, "Well, I can't take her to school." They told me they didn't want me. I know that it had snowed. It was awfully cold up there. It's almost to the North Pole. I think it was so cold. And they had to build tunnels under the snow. The snow was higher than the window there. The snow was, it snowed terrible. So they built tunnels so the kids could go to school. And they sent me home. I stayed by myself. And Dad told me, "Now don't lock the door, because if you lock the door, nobody could ever open it until we'd have to break a window to get in." And one time I walked there, and there was 3 men that came up there. And I was just a little 2 years old. But I remember that as plain as though it happened yesterday. They wanted to put me in an orphanage. "You shouldn't be living here alone," they said. "Why? We're going to put you in an orphanage." And my dad said, "No, nobody can." They came and told my dad they were going to put me in an orphanage. He said, "You just get out of the house and stay out. Don't go in there. And don't ever try to put my little girl in an orphanage." He said, might kill you." He said, "I carry a gun all the time, too." Everybody did had it. My dad had a gun always. Everybody did. They carried a gun with them. It was terrible.
We raised chickens and raised our own eggs, because we had a little drive-in hot dog stand. And myself and my brother and my sister, we were car hops for our place. And then we raised live chickens. Now, if people came to buy a hot dog and wanted to eat there and stuff, and then they said, well, they want to buy a chicken and have a chicken killed and dressed, I would have to take off my clothes and go out and we always had water on, and so we could dip the chicken once you killed it. We had to kill it and take and dress it all out completely, clean them all out, and just like you're ready to put it in the oven, just the way we have to do it. Not like in the store. The store, they used to leave the neck and the legs on, and you couldn't. They'd have to pull the gizzard out themselves if they wanted to do it. But we had to do all that for the people. And then we introduced into the state the first electrified hot dog. It was cooked on it was a chrome like a toaster. It had four prongs that went across like this, and you take a hot dog and push it on this one, on that prong here, and then once you put 4 hot dogs in there and close the lid down, it would turn on the electricity and it would cook the hot dog in just a few seconds, because they used to put a double boiler. That's how you had to keep your hot dogs warm for the people. And then we used to put green onions out of the garden, special, or tomatoes on the hot dog, and relish and mustard and all the different dressings. And then we made homemade ice cream. We had to crank homemade ice cream for the people to come. Then people would come from all over just to get our ice cream, because it was homemade. And then I did that until I was, well, I was about 13 or 14. I bought my first bicycle myself, and I used to ride to Royal Oak, which was about, we were at 15 Mile Road, and I'd ride to 10 Mile Road. Then I started up. Dad gave me a case of eggs. That's 15 dozen on the front of my bike and 15 dozen on the back. And I would go start up, and I had to go door to door, and I have to buy the eggs and pay for them before I left the house. So if I didn't sell them, that's my problem. It's just a regular business. And then I would go around, and I just go door to door, and got my own customers. Then when I got old enough to drive the car, I learned with a 31 Model A, and I took over the truck, Dad's truck, because Dad was during the war then. Dad went to the tank arsenal to work. So I took over the egg routes and all of his customers. And I took them over, plus my own customers. But for about 2 years, I rode on my bicycle all the way to Royal Oak, 5 miles out with all the eggs, delivered my customers, and then I'd ride home. When it came to get time, I'd wait for the latest bus during my time that came out on my way, that I could ride behind it, because I could ride a lot faster right behind the bus. I'd get up close to the bus. And I did that until I was 16. I got my driver's license by driving the Model A, and then Dad gave me the truck to use, and then I had an accident with it. I backed out of a customer's house in the wintertime on a really icy driveway, and when I was backing out, I thought I had a good space, but a car was coming down the street, and the street was all icy. We'd had an ice storm, and by the time I hit the brakes, I couldn't stop the truck. It just kept on going, went down. I crashed into a brand new car and took the whole side out of the car, and it didn't do too much damage to the truck. But I did that. I did that until I was about, I think it was 17. Well, we did it just before I went in the service. And on my birthday, when I was 18 years old.